Hello everyone and welcome to another Wilds of Eldraine draft. And am I supposed to test this thing again? Um, let's see. Fiery Emancipation. Well, it's not a first pick. I could see maybe some decks running this. It's quite a powerful effect, but it's also a 6 mana enchantment and a triple caster. It's no Graph triplets, which is similar mana cost. Fairy Fencing is fine. I do like it more, of course, when you get the -3/-3 as an extra by controlling a fairy. I think I'll just take that rare here, especially because the last time I had this, I really couldn't use this. I mean, I had this down like once in the entire event, and it was a bad game where I couldn't really achieve much. So I'm going to take it because it is the card with the highest potential here. So the only reason to not take it is maybe to realize that I just had it in a recorded draft. But okay, nice options here. So first of all, this will work the best in a green-white deck because, well, of course it has to be white so that I can easily cast this thing. But green is the second color which has a lot of these role tokens that allow me to have enchanted creatures. Now, the question here is that is it going to be the Tough Cookie, the Utopia Sprawl, or the Agatha's Champion? These are all fantastic cards. If I just could take them, I would be happy to pass the next two packs without taking any card from them, because these are very high quality cards, each of them. I guess the Tough Cookie doesn't really, benefit from this thing much, so I'll take the Champion. The Utopia Sprawl is of course very good, but this is just also often a 2-for-1 when you bargain, something that's not even that big of a deal to bargain in the first place. And we get these interesting options still. So Hatching Plans, one of the better enchantments in the set. Very nice to pick early in a draft so that you can find enough ways to destroy it, usually sacrificing by or either destroy or sacrificing to bargain, and of course most often you will be sacrificing it, but there are some destroy effects that could work for it too. Now there's also Cursed Courtier, and there's of course the Hamlet Glutton. Okay then. And the Besotted Knight wouldn't be bad because of the Tale for the Ages, but I think I'll just take the Courtier here. I don't necessarily want to splash this, and this is a really high impact card. If you because I'm going to plan, having a bunch of roll tokens on my creatures, so that it's easy to replace this cursed roll token. Alright, so here we have a Shrouded Shepherd, which is a decent 2-drop, but there's also the Fox, and I think I'm going to force these tokens a little bit. I mean, these aura tokens, and there's also a Return Triumphant, but I don't think it's such a high priority. There is a chance that I should maybe be blue-white. I mean, given the colors in this pack, white is open, but green is not that open. But I just got the Agatha's Champion. It's really good, and there's a totally fine green deck that synergizes with the basically it synergizes with everything. It's good with each of them. It gives a bargain fodder for this thing. It knocks off this token from here, and of course just is great with the tail for the ages. So I'm going to just maybe slightly force this color combination. And here we have there's the Unassuming Sage, which is just well, it is a 2-drop slash a 4-drop, of course, and when it's a 4-drop, it's also something that has a token that is good with the champion and the Tale for the Ages. And it does double as a 2-drop, yeah. I could take the Gallant Pie Wielder, which is a better card. This does, actually wield the roll tokens quite easily. I mean, not easily, but it's very, very good with them, I mean. I guess I'll take this. I just don't think the Sage is that great. Okay, I'll take that. Parallel Lives. Do I have a playset of them? No, I don't. So now is the question that I've been explaining this in every draft where I'm giving this option to pick a mythic rare from the enchantment seat. I mean, the pick could be the cooped up, but while it's okay removal, it's not like a super premium removal. I will just go with the set collection here, and I will take the mythic rare from the enchantment sheet. but the actual pick would be the cooped out. But I think it's not the card I'm gonna miss too much. Okay, more of these mythics, but this is not from the enchantment sheet. It will be easier to fill the regular mythic, so I don't take that now. I do think that the Knightly Valor is interesting, and the Armory Mice, mostly because it's a 2-drop, and of course I need 2-drops. I don't wanna... I have passed one 2-drop candidate already. I have one 5-drop. This is just a better card, and of course synergizes with various things in here, but I... Okay, fine, let's go with the power here still. I guess I don't need more 5-drops if I will get them. Alright, I'll take this Frostbridge Guard. Now I do realize that the blue is quite open, and I have only these 2 green cards, and these green cards aren't really good, so... But I'm happy to take the white 2-drop, and maybe pack 2 will give me a bunch of decent green, who knows. Return Triumphant. I like the Moment of Valor in the sideboard, but the Return Triumphant is, you know, quite decent. Works with the theme of the regarding the roll tokens, so I'll take that thing. And okay, Stroke of Midnight, Spider Food, Slumbering, Keep Guard. This is not necessarily... I don't think this card is even that good, but I think the choice is between the Frostbridge Guard and maybe the Stroke of Midnight. It's not actually that great, but of course some interaction would be nice. I think I'm gonna take that. I don't like it. I don't like giving them a 1/1 token, but of course sometimes it will be just, you know, the thing you absolutely want to do because you destroy something amazing, or you can use this mid combat to make their trick you know, useless and so on. Okay, let's take the Besotted Knight here. It's going to work with the theme of the deck here. I'm more likely to use the Twin Whale Guide from the sideboard than that option. I don't care about this card in particular. Okay. Expel the Interlopers. Well, I suppose that's the pick. There are some nice options here. I mean, if this wasn't here, this is the Rat variant in the format. Woodland Acolyte would be a nice pick. The Curse of the Werefox would be a nice pick. I don't think this is high priority. I also like Ginger Brute in decks where you can enhance it easily. Even if you get just one roll token on it, it'll become a 2/2. And unblockable 2/2 is of course a lot more impactful than a unblockable 1/1. Alright, but let's take the Expel the Interlopers. This can be just a nice blowout. Especially in the first time the opponent sees this. And you can maybe sometimes kill their big creatures and save some of your small creatures. But anyway, let's take it. It's the highest impact card here. Howling Galefang isn't bad. But also, I have a couple of 4-drops already. And I have some reasons to play those. You know, those. I mean, more cards like Ferocious Werefox and the Besotted Knight if I get them. So I don't necessarily want to take this. There's also a Threadbind Click, which... If I would splash the blue, because I can use the white spell just like that. If I could splash the blue, it could be interesting. It's quite early in the draft. There is also a cooped up here with just removal from my colors. On some 2-drops options. Maybe I get one of these 2-drops when this comes back to me as pick number 10. I'm kind of tempted to use this 2-for-1 card. I'll do this and let's see if I can splash the blue. Because it's not that great with just the, you know, the spell part. The Iron Crack. Okay then. It does add mana, and do I have any legendaries yet? I don't. I really don't like this card too much unless I'm like kind of like a ramp deck, or if I have like a couple of ways to trigger it. And you need a legendary creature to enter the battlefield. There's also the Princess Takes Flight, which is nice for sure if you have some bargain, but I don't know how many bargain spells I actually have or end up having. Don't have I have like the one here now. It is the highest impact card though. I could also take the Prism for the blue thing, but okay, I'll take the Princess Takes Flight mostly because it's early enough so that I can find some bargain effects. Hopefully. So now I'm going some weird directions here. I guess I'll take the Prism now. This allows me to maybe cast a Threadbind Click here. Sure. And anything else? I don't see anything too amazing. There's another Prism. I suppose it's something you could play, but I suppose suppose I'll take the Graceful Takedown. I don't have a lot of creatures, I need to find them. Yeah, this draft hasn't gone that well after the pack one actually. I thought I would maybe get some better synergy for this deck, but I don't. So, Prism number 2 to make this an easier cast, or just take the takedown. I'll take the takedown for now. There's a Grasp of Fate, so okay, I have all this removal, but not really much going on for the, the synergy stuff. Okay, I'll take this. Definitely over Stroke of Midnight. It's just better card. It doesn't give them the 1/1. Okay, Archon's Glory. Yeah, I guess I'll take it now because I do have the Princess Takes Flight. In other case, I maybe just would take the Moment of Valor from my sideboard. Yeah, I don't actually like how this draft goes. Green isn't open in pack 2. I mean, I might not need to be green. I have I have 3 green cards which are actually all splashable. This is not something you usually splash, but my deck actually cares about it. What about this pack? I mean, I need some actual 2-mana plays. Do I want to play more Return Triumphants? I take the Spider Food in the sideboard. I don't really think I... Okay, I'm getting these back. I'm happy about this one. But this is like a mono-white deck, as you can see. And there's a 2-drop. Now there's also this Unassuming Sage, which I'll take over this. They can both be 2-drops, but this has the option to be a turn for, the thing that gives me an aura token. Gingerbrute. I'm not sure if I have room for that thing in this deck. But I don't think I'm gonna play the Reindeer either. I don't have maybe enough ways to use the tap ability, the triggered ability there. Let's take this. This will give me a roll token, maybe. I don't care about this. Yeah, this is mostly white. Well, what does pack 3? Give me. Okay, then. Well, that's a question. Because if there wasn't like a Ceramont, maybe it would be an easy craft triples, but there's now still the option. Because the problem with this card, I mean, not really a problem, but well, kind of a problem. The challenge this card presents is that it's a triple green card. So I couldn't just splash green. If I would have to play like 9, 10 green sources. I mean, maybe like 10 forests and the prism and stuff like that. I would really, and given the low count of green cards in this deck, I don't think it even is worth it. I'll take the Ceramont here. It gives me an enchantment and it's splashable. I don't need many green sources to play this card. So this is the case where I'm actually playing green, but I don't pick the Grove triples here. These I'm gonna pick though over the Tanglespan Lookout. This is an amazing card. I actually have so much interaction now in this deck that I can easily cut cards such as Stroke of Midnight. We'll see what else there is. I do need creatures, by the way. 12 is an okay amount, but I wouldn't mind having a little bit more. Now, yeah, this Tanglespan Lookout would be a great 3-drop. But of course, this Crown of Winter, just tapping the biggest thing they have and then casting this in for some cards is really, really amazing. Alright, if I was blue-white, well, I'm not. Alright, so either the Genealogist or the Assassin's Sage. How many 2-mana board affecting plays do I have? Oh, barely any. Yeah, I mean, it's an easy pick. There's no bargain here, by the way. Well, there is a Johan's Stopgap, because I do like the Princess Takes Flight too. I mean, I have like a couple of bargain spells. This would be my 3rd one, I think. I mean, I'm not even sure. But I'm going to splash blue now, so... I mean, I think I like the... No, actually, let's just take the 2-drop, because I will fail by not having 2-drops. That kind of happened to me earlier with the previous deck, I think. Okay, now there's a Sharai. This would be nice, but I don't really have many other ways than the Hilda's Crown to tap their stuff. So I think it's just going to be the Prism, which will... I mean, I'm not that big fan of that thing. It's mostly to splash the click here. I will auto-select it now, and I have to... I mean, I might not play the Princess Takes Flight here. I'm not taking another Archon's Glory. This is good because but I mean, if the Sharai comes back, yeah, then I have 2 Prisms. Maybe I can play it then in that case. But if I take that blue-white card in there, then I still have only one way to fix my mana, so that's not really that good. I'd rather take the Prism here. Here I'll take the Crystal Grotto. That's also helping me with my mana a little bit. And I get now the Shara here. And actually not such a good amount of options. I mean, even if I don't have other ways really to tap things, and I guess in my sideboard I might have the other plunge into winter. Oh, by the way, I do have a Frostbridge Guard. That can help with it too. But yeah, this is still an ETB tap and lock down one of their creatures and draw a card. So I'm actually having like mono white that splashes blue and green. That's weird, but okay. Here I'll just take something. I have play sets of each of these. I'll take an uncommon. I don't need another of these. I don't have room for another Gingerbread either. I'll take the Succumb to Cold. I mean, I guess there's a chance I will be playing it somehow. Okay, there's a Werefox. I think I need to have this Aura stuff now. I'll take another Werefox over there. You know, whatever the options here are. And I get a Moment of Valor from my sideboard. I kind of need cheap cards, but this is not what this deck needs. So I'm gonna just take the sideboard option here. I have a bunch of cuts to make anyway. Okay, I can take the Genealogist now. Yeah, I wish I had one Evolving Wilds. I think that would make my mana a little bit better, but I don't. Alright, stopgap here now, but I think I can't play the Princess Takes Flight. I have not enough bargain for that. I don't care about those, I'll just take the compulsion. Another protective parents is a little bit unnecessary too, and I got the second Sarai as well. Alright, that's... I have a lot of expensive cards. I'm a little bit scared about how that's gonna work. I won't have a space for the plunge in the winter, even with double Sarai. I'll just take the rare here. Okay, so this is a case of me kind of forcing the green-white without green being open. And then I got some blue gifts very late. Now I could have of course been just blue-white deck, that maybe, but I mean of course if I got this harass earlier in the draft I would have drafted around this mechanic, but I got this in pack 3 quite late, so it was a little bit too late to switch into the tap things archetype. But I do think I'm going to now have to cut stuff like Knightly Valor. I prefer these other 5 drops instead, and I don't want to play 4 5 mana plays here. And I kind of want to play all the... Oh, that's also at 6 4 mana plays. I know the Besotted Knight and the Werefoxes here, they do have utility at 1 or 2 mana as well. And this of course is a 3 mana spell, so maybe it looks a little worse than it is, but this is definitely a 17 land deck, even with double prism. And I won't have a space for the Gingerbread. I don't think... I think I was correct when I made the assessment that I won't be having the Princess Takes Flight. Basically, only the bargain spells I have are ways to get rid of it, and 2 is just not enough. I know you can play this, it's not totally unplayable if you just temporarily exile something, and of course you can exile your own creature if it's like under some kind of an aura effect or something like a stab wound or pacifism or the blue tapping enchantment. So that's like a use for this card too, but of course what you want to do with this card is to exile an opponent's creature, get a nice pump effect for your own creature in chapter 2, and then just get rid of this before they get their own creature back. And of course if you exile a token it will be gone for good regardless, but tokens and at least big tokens, I mean of course there are those rat tokens, but big tokens are not a big theme in this set, so that's not so relevant. Anyway, point is, I have to make some cuts, and this is only a mediocre card in this deck. It's an easy cut. How about the Stroke of Midnight? Is there anything else that is a card I could see cutting? Because I don't think I'm going to cut. Yeah, well, first of all, I will cut the Archon's Glory because I don't need the bargain for that. That was basically the only reason I picked it. The Princess Takes Flight. Then I will cut the Stroke of Midnight from the main deck. I can sideboard it in if I face an opponent that has some very problematic things that only this thing can answer. And now, given the pretty heavy mana curve, I'm feeling like I should cut one more card, but let's first see the creature curve, maybe. How many do I have them in the first place? 16 and 8. Okay, that's like a healthy count of them. So I do have a couple of prisms here, which I will be playing. So they will be cantripping into potentially more land drops. So keeping like an opening hand that has 2 lands and a prism, it gives you of course the 1 extra card to a possibility to draw a land. Now what I don't like about this deck at all is that my turn 2 plays are really the 3/2 drop creatures and the 2 prisms, and of course the prisms don't affect the board, but they at least, I mean, I have to play this at some point regardless, so it's might as well do it on turn 2 if I have no other option. I also can play the a Tale for the Ages on turn 2, of course. So this is 24 cards, and I think because of my splash for blue and the mana curve that can still be quite, hefty, I do play 17 lands here. I basically want to hit my 4th land in every game, and I want to have all the 3 colors ideally available as soon as possible. So 17 lands helps with both of that, both of those things. So the Return Triumphant is limited to mana creature cards with mana value 3 or less. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, there will most likely be a target most of the time. Question is though, I mean, I have some nice things to bring back. The Acolyte draws me a card. Genealogist can, give me more of those auras. Pie-wielder could one. The Kurtiri, you don't actually get to, these don't combine well. The young hero token will be on the Kurtiri, and then the triggered ability to put the cursed roll token on it goes to stack, and it will actually knock off the young hero token. So while it's nice to return this, if you have other means to give it a roll token, it's not immediately going to be great with the Return Triumphant. So I'm actually thinking that maybe I should cut the Return Triumphant because it's not something. I mean, I can play this only once something has died already, and the lack of 2 drops here means that I might often just not have any creature on turn 2, and in this case, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to recast this. And the other option is to cut something else, and I don't want to cut this removal spell. Yeah, I think it is gonna be the Return Triumphant. Now let's see the number of the synergy for this Tale for the Ages. So roll token basically. Yeah, that is enough cards that make it work. The Protective Parents and the Red Tooth Genealogist. Now these are not good 3-drops here, I must admit, because these are mostly good when you already have a creature on the battlefield. I might miss out on these tokens more often than I would like to, but it's not really like I have an option in this deck building. I had the options during the draft to pick more 2-drops, but I was greedy. I picked stronger cards, but now I might be a little bit punished by that. But anyway, I wanted to check the amount of roll tokens I can spread around, and that's enough to make the Tale for the Ages a decent card for sure. So I'm gonna play it. I do have the the reset card here, so if the opponent gets a fast start, and if I get to hit my 5th mana with this thing around, I can just wipe the board and maybe rebuild nicely. So this is the main deck. The number of green cards is 6, number of red cards is 3. Couple of Prophetic Prisms and a Crystal Grotto. What does the suggest lands tell me? I don't think it's gonna be that. Well, first of all, I don't need that many islands. I don't need that many, because these count as any mana source. And these don't usually get removed, unless the opponent has like the oof with no other target and something they want to sacrifice for it for the bargain. So these now still 5 ways to get blue mana with the Prism, the Grotto, and the 2 islands. I definitely want to play at least 8. I think 9 planes is a must. Now, is this enough forests for the few green cards? There are 6 of them, but none of them really need to be played early. I guess the earliest is the Genealogist is if I had a 2-drop. And sometimes, of course, you have to play this as a 3-drop if it's the only 3 mana play you have. even if you don't have a creature on the battlefield, so you miss out on the token. Sometimes you just have to do something. But this is, with the prisms and the forest, this is like a 7 ways to cast this on turn 3. This doesn't actually help on the turn 3 cast because, of course, this costs an extra mana if I, gain 3 with this thing, gain green or any specific color with this. So this would be like a 4-drop if the Grotto is my only green source. Yeah, this is it. I mean, I have a power here. Definitely the Sharas are nice. Expel the Interlopers and the Hilda's Crown can do some nice things. Good opponents, though, if they see this like in game 1, they will maybe play around it. But I don't mind it actually because I have quite a slow deck, so if the opponent slows down their, advancement, that could be also beneficial to me. I think this is a good home for a Wrath effect. And the fact this is a modular, you can sometimes choose a number that allows you to keep some creatures and kills at least more of their creatures or more impactful of their creatures. It's a good thing to have. It's not just destroy everything, although it can be that. I guess you can give negative power with the -4, -0 adventure, though I think the game recognizes negative power, even though it's treated as 0 power, but I'm not sure. But I think that if someone uses the minus power value effect, so that a creature's power is like -1, you can't choose any number lower than 0, so that might be a fun way for someone to save their, let's say, 3 power creature, make it a -1 power creature in response to the expel the interlopers. Anyway, that's just a fringe case scenario that popped into my mind. This is the deck. Not really, doesn't look like a deck I usually draft because I have more 2-drops and I have usually better mana, but I think the mana is fine with the prisms. And I have some power and maybe I get to do some more stuff with the Tale for the Ages, but now it's time to move to match 1. Okay, on the play, and the prism fixing all my mana challenges here. So I actually have my splash colors, but not the planes. But the prism helps. I will find another white source for the Grasp of Fate, hopefully before it's too late. I will play the parents on turn 3. Now you can play this, they don't necessarily kill it, and then on turn 4 I can play another creature. Of course, if I just draw a planes, I will play the Sage, without the sort of kicker it has. Because then I can play the parents. Oh, that's a good card. Now let's see, I actually do need to draw the 3rd land here. I suppose I can play the Sage. Well, scratch that. I could have played this on the next turn thanks to the prism anyway. I think I'll just go with the parents in here. That's fine. Okay, I got the 4th one too, so I can play Shara and the next turn. Oh, you know what is sick? Shara and the Crown. That is very sick. I don't even mind if they kill this thing. But if they do kill this and attack and have no other creature, I won't be playing Shara, because this thing, maybe my face blocks that, but it only draws your card if you tap an untapped creature. So I want to be targeting untapped creatures with it. Let's see if they play a creature here. Well, kind of. Kind of, yes, but is that worth it? And yeah, it is. It definitely is. I will draw a card and this gets locked down. Yeah, I could have targeted. This would have gotten locked down, but it wouldn't have drawn me a card. And I'd, of course, want to draw a card. Now, if they don't deal with the Sharai, I will just have infinite cards with the Hilda's Crown of Winter. It only cost me, 1 mana to do on their turn. I might even just opt to do it on my turn when it doesn't cost at all. But I might have to do it on their turn to, prevent some attacks. They have this 3 power creature going here. Now it's 4 power, and I'm not going to block with the Sharai. So I'll go to 13 now. It will have a ward, which is actually annoying. I might just use the Grasp of Fate on it, actually. Then it will be exiled as well, because this of course can come back if it just dies regularly. in a regular way. Cheeky house mouse. So they were thinking about the adventure, but they chose. I mean, they could have done it if they tapped. I guess they have like one more. Alright, now I. Oh, well. So they had. That was a what? 1, 2, 3 spell turn, I suppose. Creature tokens get +1/+1. So I take 8 now. That's. Yeah, I'm taking. I'm not gonna block it because it also has trample thanks to this. No, the trample was given by what effect? Oh, it just has trample naturally. Okay. So the amount of mana I have available is 5. Grasp of Fate is sadly going to cost 4 mana if I get this thing down. No, I will take another 4. I wouldn't be blocking this thing, so if I do something like the Hilda's Crown now, I would be forced to go down to 5. I don't like going down to 5, but let's say they... Yeah, I mean, I guess this is the turn where I just have to do this. Alright. Let's deal with this. Yes, I'm sure I have the mana. I'm not gonna... Why does it even ask? Is it just this for each opponent? Yeah, I mean, I have only one opponent. Yeah, no attacks. I will win the... If the game gets to go long, I will win with the crown most likely, but... Okay, they get to dig into their good stuff, if they have some. Let's see how they scry. This could be quite telling, because they have only one card in their hand, so if they scry to top, they are gonna be at least significant impact cards. 1 to top, 1 to bottom. Okay, that's... I guess the average, and they get to have a 2-2. Alright, now I have full information. They don't have a good attack now. But this will be a 3-3. Oh, Agatha's champion. That's convenient, especially because I have my island, so I can in fact eat my prophetic prism here. Now... Yeah, it's just gonna... this is currently pumping both the 2/2 vigilance token and the 1/1 mouse token. No, it's not a mouse. This is a mouse. This is just a human. So I guess they have no cards. This is just a safe way to do it, like this. Yeah, I'm waiting with the Hilda's Crown, but I mean, it's just I must do this. I must do this now. Let's fight with this thing. And I have a good defensive board here, but now they did scry this card they have now to top. The next one is unknown. They can draw a card with this thing. But this is something they chose to keep, so it's not a land. I hope it's not a great bomb. Oh, it's something that they're gonna use to... No, I actually thought that they're gonna have the bite spell, you know, the thing that... What's the curse of the Werefox? That's what I was afraid they would have, because they did, you know, they hovered over the Red Tooth genealogist and this thing, which would have kind of implicated. Although that's not how that card works, because first you just resolve it on your own creature and then the triggered ability to fight goes to stack. So sorry about that. Forget about all that. Alright, they could attack here. I do have my buffer of 9 life, so I can take some damage, and they chose not to. And of course now the fun begins, for sure. I kind of want to play this thing though. So, I mean, I have now 7 mana, so I could do the Crown of Winter and play this, but because I can tap on my own turn without it costing any mana. That's the thing. Then I have this 3/3. And I will get an additional card, and then if nothing else I can play this as a, you know, with 2/2 that gets the trigger. Other option is just to play this and tap on their turn to make it a safer. I think I'm gonna be a little bit greedy here. Just tap. Wow, well, this thing, why not? Draw a card. Oh, hoo hoo. That's good, but not. It's gonna be decent on the next turn because it will make this even bigger. But for now, I just hope I hope they don't find a weird way to beat me through this board I'm currently having. They didn't use the Candy Trail on the previous turn, but that's because they used the mana on the Knightly Valor. So that was the card they kept on top when they scried, and now they are drawing unknowns. They do have another scry 2 available when they sacrifice the Hopeful Vigil, either by its own ability or by some bargain effect. That's just a sorcerer roll token, so it scries when it attacks, but that's not relevant right now. I mean, if the opponent can deal with some of this stuff, they can still easily win. But if they can't deal with the Sharai Crown combination, that's okay. Well, they do have their own. That's a non-land permanent. They can choose even the Hilda's Crown here. Yeah, that's a good draw. That was a top deck. I mean, without that wasn't the one they scried. I don't think. No. But it doesn't matter, they did what they did. Okay, they choose the 4/4. I don't know if I have any way to deal with an enchantment. I don't think so. Okay, but I'm actually happy that they give me let me have my card drawing engine. I'm not gonna do the trade now because this will be a 5/5 on the next turn. So let's say if I go to 5, they will have a bunch of attackers. I will be able to tap one of them. Yeah, I mean, it's either I lose a creature here or... I mean, I guess I can... No. No, I'm gonna take the damage here. They have a priority, so they have a 1-mana green spell, or they use the manual stop or something. Alright, well this is actually gonna be great as well, because I will pick up some counters here. So first, let the Protective Parents have a counter. So when it dies, it will give the counter to something else. I mean, it's not a counter, it's an aura token, but you know what I mean. So it will be now 4/3, but it will also be bigger once I play the Tale of the Ages, and now I can start tapping stuff on their turn. I will need to start attacking myself at some point, of course, but I will be drawing 2 cards per turn as long as the Sharai is alive. I do think it was a mistake for them to take the Agatha's champion. Either the Crown or the Sharai would have been, I think, would have easily been better. But I am now only at 5 here. And if they have like a royal treatment, because they have like a green 1-mana spell there. Well, this doesn't have trample, and royal treatment doesn't give the trample aura. I can even just jump block it if I really want to, although I just might block with the Protective Parents. Yeah, this is... If I win this game, it will be a lot longer game, but of course I could just lose if they have some, something. Okay, I think they must have a royal treatment now, because why would they do that otherwise? So I can't be blocked, because this is not gonna work now. They will have a royal treatment. Tap target creature. Yes, let's try tapping this. But it's gonna get hexproof. Okay, not yet. This cry for 2. Okay, but scry to the bottom. That's actually good news, and that's alright. Well, that's even better news. Alright, so I got even that thing. I don't have anything with the vigilance, but I'm gonna put this counter on something regardless. There's another mouse there, and the genealogist is gonna have this token. Well, it will be Trampler, 5/6 Trampler now, and I get to play the 4/3. I think I can start attacking now. Oh, Graceful Takedown. Oh, that's a sweet one. Should I just outright kill that thing? They can put 2 yeah, okay. They can triple block, but they would lose 3 of their creatures because these have only 1 toughness. So I think I'll attack with the genealogist regardless. I don't mind if they actually triple block it. It would be totally fine for me. And then I will play the Werewolves. Or maybe just... I have the mana to do all this, yep. So, target any number of enchanted creatures I control. Well, that's a bunch of them. And then this. So all 4 of my creatures deal damage. I haven't used so many of my own targets for this card. So... I think it's gonna die. It's gonna take 18 damage. Leaping ambush. Why would they do that? Why would they waste their ambush? Didn't they realize that I have so many? So they had a green 1 mana trick, but it was just the ambush. Wow. Okay, now they need some good stuff. And remember, they did scry to bottom. Okay, they have that thing, which will pick up some counters, but it is too slow, given what I have going on. And I can... It is only ward, not hexproof, so I can actually just, you know, keep tapping it. Or they attack. I mean, I didn't tap anything because I don't have to. I have perfect information. I have good blocks in here, so this, I mean, this matters not at all. I guess they deal 1 damage to me, but they lose their team, so I go to 4 and maybe this was their way of giving up. Well, I actually want to draw a card here, and this thing has ward 2 and I have only 2 mana, so before damage I'm gonna do this. Just to draw the card. So I should have tapped something before they attack. I don't know, I take this trade. Is this lethal? 10, 16, yes it is. So let's just deal with it. Yep. So they kind of gave up there. I think if they did not... I mean, if they didn't exile this, then I would have that on the battlefield. They wouldn't have... Yeah, it would have been even harder for them to you know, try to attack. But I mean, this engine is just too good. I think they should have taken probably the Crown of Winter away. But yeah, let's see what I have here. How about the Moment of Valor? Is that gonna be... I didn't see any green big hitters here, really. I saw some pump effects, of course, but I mean, it's like a little bit... Yeah, I guess anything that picks up a Knightly Valor is gonna be a decent enough target for that. But again, the problem is I don't really think I have many, you know, cards I want to be cutting in this matchup. I think this is just the deck I want to always have. None of these cards are bad. Maybe in some matchups I could see cutting the Expel the Interlopers, but even that is quite unlikely. So, do I have a way to deal with their... I guess there's a Stroke of Midnight which can deal with something like a Grasp of Fate. And of course, it's good against combat tricks, good against the Knightly Valor. I could see playing this, because this also counters combat tricks quite nicely, and I think they might have those. So if I play the Stroke, I do need to cut something, and it's not going to be a 2-drop. I just like all my 3s so much, but I think the Pie Wielder might be the least useful one. Yeah, I think the Pie Wielder goes away. It basically doesn't synergize with my stuff too much, and while it's a good one and I can get the celebration going on with all my token grinding, I think it's unnecessary. I'd rather play the Stroke here. That's that. Okay, again the Prism comes to help. I don't... Well, I mean, this deck doesn't really have... I mean, that good options for curving out, so I just hope they don't go with one of the mice. They have 2 of those 1-drop things. The 2 ones, at least 2, I mean, because that's the amount I saw them. So I can play the Prism and then hope there's something for turn 3. Okay, I don't care about that. Well, that's something I can... I can eat the Prism because... Well, maybe not because it's... Well, that's a good draw, by the way. Maybe not because I don't have the Forest yet, and I have like... Was it like 5 of them in the deck, or 4? I think 5, maybe. I don't think it was 6. I don't actually remember, 4 or 5. I had 2 islands, I think. Well, we'll see. I'm not at 5 mana even, so I I don't need to worry about that. Plus I can just eat something like the token in here. Okay, that's gonna be bigger right away. So next turn is actually... They can attack with both if they have, you know, a land, because I can't block this thing if they have 4 mana up. So they can attack for 4, but it's just for 4. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And what I can do on the turn, on my turn, which is a bit risky, but I think it's still worth it. I can play the Tail for the Ages and then have the Ferocious. Okay, forget about that. That's actually better than them having just a... Okay, they don't have a 4th land at all, but yeah, I was thinking about having a nice trick there. Okay, that's a good draw for sure. Now, this is 3 mana to destroy a tapped creature. I can only play a 3 mana spell here. I guess the Crown is... I'm gonna do the Crown because I can start tapping their stuff. And then on the next turn I can play the Click and still tap something. I mean, I can't tap the Ward guy. By the way, it has Ward 1 and Ward 2, so that's a little bit annoying. Yeah, I think the Crown has to be played now. Yeah, the Curse of the Werewolf was annoying. I was hoping to have the trick available with, you know, with the Tail for the Ages and these bits. You know, this would become a 5/5 at instant speed. Oh, they even have that now, so this could be bad. I guess if I draw a forest, I can just eat the prism, but I don't... Even if I draw like a plains here, I don't want to use the champion yet, but... Oh, well that... that gives me a game plan. That gives me a game plan for sure, but now the thing is, do I want to risk it? But they actually could have the annoying green trick there. It untaps, and if I target a tapped creature that gets untapped in response, this will just, you know, not resolve and not go to exile from where I could play it. I mean, if I knew I'm gonna draw a land, I would just immediately play the Tail for the Ages and let them play more creatures. I will go to 5 if they increase this guy's power, or 6. Because they have the green mana up, I'm actually gonna do this. If they didn't have the green mana up, I would not have done that. I would have killed the genealogist to buy some time. But now there's a chance they could have countered this with the trick they have. Okay, they actually can come back, but it's not the worst. So if I don't draw a land now, I will be in trouble. Especially if they have the trick. Please tap out. Please tap out. Don't think they are gonna... Well, if I draw a land, then it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. So let's just do this. Choose a number 0, destroy all creatures with power greater than or equal. So 0 makes them all go away. Okay, what are... There's no response they can have for this. That is, I mean, unless they can decrease the power of their creatures, but not with these colors, no. Oh, they can give indestructible. Alright, that works. That actually works, but yeah, that is that also untaps, by the way. So I was playing around the green trick, but this would have worked against the Threadband Click. Not on the previous turn though, when they had only 1 green mana available. Anyway, I will take damage, and then I actually hope they don't also have the green one. Because that means that... It's actually quite funny. I will lose if they have the green trick that untaps this thing. I have the mana to... Oh no, I don't have the mana to pay for the ward. I need to also draw a land. So if I don't draw a land, I can't target... I mean, I can target, but the ward thing will counter it. Now, what is the actual play here? Okay, this is interesting. They can because I can play it safely. Because I saw the green trick. It's a 1 mana trick that will untap this creature and, you know, give +1/+3 and I guess reach. So even though I can now pay for the ward thanks to me drawing the forest, I will simply just lose. I would have to use all my 6 mana to try to kill this. They untap it. And I lose. Because I'm at 3. And that's exactly... And then they can deal even 4. The other option here is just to play the Werefox thing here. Is that good enough? They can only give it 1 counter with... Okay, I'm actually gonna play around it. I'm playing this. I know I miss, you know, using the... And you know, the ward is really doing some stuff because I couldn't even use the graceful takedown here. Although if they have a removal on this thing, I will lose also. Okay, they don't have another mana to add. To add a another counter. So I suppose if they attack now, they have the trick and my decision was good. If they don't attack, that means they don't have the trick. And then I will still be... I can just use the, you know, something like a graceful takedown on the next turn. They can't give it more counters now. But if they just kill my guy with the Curse of the Werefox, I will lose the game as well. So yeah, okay, there was one of here already, so I don't know. By playing around that one thing, I didn't play around something else. So what is the final card? They have that annoying. That is annoying because I have to jump it, and that was surely annoying. I mean, what I can do now, I can fight this, but then I just have to start jump blocking it. I know that this is not gonna have vigilance on the next turn. The thing is again that I will go to 1 life. I will just lose if they draw another. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just kill the... I don't wanna go to 1. I would rather jump and hope they don't. And hope they don't, you know... Yeah. And hope they don't draw a removal for my 4/4. Because I had the other plan to let them attack with both. Kill this by paying all 6 mana. And then take 2 from the other guy. But I don't wanna go to 2. At least they have to use 4 mana to make this attack, you know, worthwhile for them. Or did they draw a removal? They top decked something, didn't they? Are they just reading my card? I mean, I needed 1 turn of... Okay, they probably didn't. Unless it's the 1 mana green trick. Now, if it's the 1 mana green trick, I'm going to be mad. At least it wasn't the creature either. Alright, well now I have to go for it. There's just no way. Yes, I will pay a lot of ward effects. If they now top deck the green spell and understand to use it, it's gonna be super annoying. That's the ward 2, that's the ward 1. Yep, make me pay for it. They are hovering over their own creature. Did they draw it? This is painful. Why are they using so much time here? Okay, break the spell. They draw a card with that, which still could give them, you know, the... Okay, finally. Now I should be in a fairly decent shape, but depends on what they draw. Okay, they are not drawing anything right now. But I'm gonna leave that as a backup. I can even kill the Grasp of Fate with it, which will be quite nice. So, total amount of mana is 8, so I can do this, and then I know that I'm not gonna draw a land, so I think I'm not gonna even play the Werefox right now. I'm gonna just play the Sir Armont on the next turn. Because if I give this a counter now, no, I think I'd rather use this. I will use this maybe as a trick of some kind. They're really reading all the cards there. Okay, so let's do this. I think I can use this for colorless and have all the colors available now. This is gonna pick up. It's gonna be like 7/7 because this also gives a +1/+1 there. This is a fast clock now. And now what I can do, I can give Sir Amont +1/+1. And this actually will be enchanted. It will be affected by its own ability and the tail for the ages. So this is a lethal attack. Because if they have a blocker, I can kill it with the Stroke of Midnight, and they will have a 1/1. But this will give it trample. This will be actually 15 power of trample, I believe. So if I turn their potential blocker into a 1/1, it's not gonna be enough. Okay, they have no blocker. This is 15 trample now. Okay. Now both games I went to very low life total, but of course the Vrat, the Vrat did what Vrats do. I just killed 3 creatures, although it was only 2, but I suppose I still got 3 cards out of it, because they had to use this card to save the 3rd one. But yeah, they had some top deck opportunities there that could have given them the victory. I'm glad they didn't draw the necessary cards for that. Okay, I have 2 prisms in my deck, and this is now my 3rd game in this event. I have drawn a prism always, so I'm on the draw now, so it could be risky if they have a fast start. If they go 2-drop, 3-drop. Because I can play the Acolyte here. Okay, they go that thing. I guess I can kill it with the Threadbind click if it threatens to become very, very large. Okay, it turns out I didn't need my prism after all, because I have the basics here. But then again, I can use this for bargain for the 5-drop green creature I have. Oh, that's a heck of a start. Oh, not much I can do. Well, there is something I can do, but I have options. I could just use the click on this right now. It's really possible that I will take 4 from this. This will pick up quite likely 2 counters now. But I hope they don't have like a handful of 5+ mana cards. Okay, actually I'm not... They don't have 5 mana anymore, so these won't grow now. But there's an Agatha's Champion. Wow. I just talked about the card, and now I drew it. That's fantastic. So, make this into a 3/3, then it can block some stuff. And then I can, use this on their turn. That seems to be very mana efficient, so... Oh, I could just play the Protective Parents though. Is that better? It would be kind of shame to play it though, if this already has the counter. Yeah. And the question is, am I gonna raise here? I could. I'm gonna actually do this. Do they have a response to this? Could be a counter spell actually. Well, now it has Ward 1. I'm going to... It is tempting to attack with it, because I kind of want them to attack so that I can use the Threadbind click. Question is though, is it still just better to play the Protective Parents in here? Because now this thing actually can trade with one of these even if they pick up counters. It's really tough. I have 1 timeout. I mean, these are the lines. Both are fine lines. If I attack with this, I can maybe try to get them with the click. Next turn is going to be the Agatha's Champion, so it would be nice to add to the board here as well. Okay, I'm just gonna try to raise here somehow. I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to... Oh, they have a... Oh, just looting. Alright, fine. Well, now they don't have blue mana available. I was a little bit scared that they might have a, a counter spell there. But now that... I could actually kill these now as well, but I do think these might grow a couple of times, and then when they are 6/5s, it's super annoying. I think I want to kill the Prowlers instead, but In the meanwhile, I'll just play this, and yes, if they kill the parents, it's kind of a... I mean, it would go on the Acolyte. Alright, well that's another... Well, okay, that's a lot of bad news for me. So first of all, if I just killed it, they wouldn't have been able to play that card at all. So now the Akatas champion can only eat the Exploder. Yeah, this is the problem. Once they play another 5+ mana spell, these are 6/5s and it's horrible for me. There's too much threats they are now showing to me. I really hoped that I could have played the champion and tried to eat one of the prowlers here. But now if I knew they were gonna have the Glutton, I would have just killed this on the previous turn before playing the parents. Alright, but of course I couldn't know that. Now my decision is, you know, basically... I don't even... Now this actually has the looting ability still. Okay, fine. I just hope that they don't have more, you know, triggers for the Prowler. It's just gonna be game over if they do, because I have to multiple block so many of their creatures. I can only kill one with the click. That is the problem. And I don't have my power. I mean, it's not game over because I can always draw some very good stuff that my deck has. Definitely. And I have 18 life here. But if they can trigger the Prowlers right away, they will be 6/5s, and my blocks are extremely, you know, annoying. Okay, so that being said, I mean, are they gonna have an instant speed? What is an instant speed 5 mana spell? There must be some, right? Some adventure spell, maybe? What is an instant speed? Because I obviously want to just block both of these Prowlers, but I could double block just one. It's gonna be a train break if they have a way to pump both of these with the trigger. I just don't know what spell is gonna do with the thing. Well, I could see them wanting to make this attack regardless, even if they don't have anything. I think I'm in such a bad spot here. I don't want to take 10 damage, for instance. I'm gonna just do this and hope this is gonna work. But now I will see what the 5 mana spell is. Okay, just a quick study. That does not... Yeah, okay, that's totally fine. I got rid of these Prowlers before they grow any further. This young hero token isn't actually gonna do anything, but I might still find a way to, you know... I could find my... Oh, this is actually sweet. They don't have a green mana up anymore. I can just kill this. That was the... I mean, I don't know why. Maybe they just don't have that many ways to trigger this. They wanted to raise, but now that they both are dead and I get to kill this, things are so much better. Alright, let's focus. I mean, they don't have even the mana up for the royal treatment. There's nothing with 1 blue mana that they can do to save this, so let's do this right away and then I can play the Pie Wielder here. So anyway, I can draw my first pick in the draft and it will actually... Then the young hero token would make sense. It would make this into a 6/6. Okay, more big guys. More Hamlet Gluttons, maybe. I have a flyer here. I can play the 3/3. I can't believe that they actually traded these both. That was so good news for me. I was so scared that they're gonna play something big and these are 6/5s, but wow. Now, and they actually had this 7 mana spell even. I wonder why they didn't use it. They maybe just don't want to take so much damage here because they had 7 mana now with Utopia Sprawl. They could have drawn 4, discard 2, but of course that's their turn and I will attack for a bunch. Spider Food on the... excuse me? It wasn't even doing anything. Alright, let's get them... No, I don't get the celebration now, sadly. So I can't attack. I'm 1 mana short. I needed to draw some cheaper permanent, but oh well, this situation is quite good already, so just do this. Now, if they play expensive stuff, they get to tap and stun my things, but this is just a 3/3. I'm not that worried about the 3/3. They have this 3 life also here. Wow, the Spider Food. I mean, the thing is that they actually used the Spider Food to destroy a young hero token that wasn't doing anything, while they... Wow, that's nice. Why didn't they eat the sprawl? Anyway, whatever. The Threadbind click was in my exile zone. They knew I was gonna play it, and they still wasted their spider food then there. But now it might not matter that much because they drew. Okay, now they're top decking again, and there's a grasp of fate. Well, things keep changing at a very high frequency here. I mean, now I'm again winning here, so that's pretty funny. All right, so let's do this now. Let's get rid of the Glutton here, sure, and then I can actually attack for 8 unless they jump block, and I will have enough life to take the counter attack. So yeah, they actually sacked the food for the Glutton instead of the Utopia Sprawl, so they don't have the food to gain additional 3 life anymore. Now, do they top deck another great thing? I mean, I top decked a great thing, so I'm not going to whine about that. Can't attack with the Pie Wielder, they can just do that. Now, let's say if they have nothing in their hand, then of course I could, because they can't afford to put a giant on the Pie Wielder. Well, they can, but then they would... Well, no, they literally can't, because this trambles, so even if they blocked the champion with the fawn, they would have to take 6 here and 1 here trample damage. But if they have something, it's a different story, so can I afford to play around things? Because if they have like a, instant speed, bounce or whatever, then they will eat the wielder for free. If I don't attack with the wielder though, they might just double block the champion, and they will still take 6. Actually, I think that's... If they have nothing, it's really good for me regardless, so I'm not gonna risk it. The champion can trade with the giant. They can't do just that block, it trambles. This is 7 damage opponent, it has trample. I guess they wanted to, save these things so that they can top deck something to benefit from the triggered ability, but of course, it's not really gonna help if they are gonna die. Alright, so they are blue-green. Yeah, I think if they held these things back, because they did draw the other Hamlet Glutton there, so I would have lost maybe if they played in a different way, because I also was slightly flooded here, as you can see. But anyway, good outcome for me, obviously. Anything that I'm interested in having, like, do I need some more big things like the Knightly Valor? The Princess Takes Flight is just, they will get the stuff back. Oh, but the Moment of Valor. Okay, Moment of Valor and I think the Stroke of Midnight both are gonna be cards I'm playing. I won't have space for the Knightly Valor here though. I will cut the Pie Wielder again against that deck and then something else, but what is it going to be? I like all this stuff too much now. But one card has to go. It is going to be, maybe the Protective Parent is the least reliable one. I still have 14 creatures. I think that's fine. Didn't see big flyers or anything. I'm gonna have this as my deck. Hey, let's not break the Prophetic Prism starting hand. Makes your mana quite much better when you have the Prism available. They mulligan, I keep this, and now it actually is gonna be a Frostbridge Guard turn 2, most likely now. They go to 5. Alright, well that's gonna up my chances quite a bit, because I have a decent curve here. Even if I'm stuck at 2 lands, I can play the Guard, I can give it a counter, and I can play the Prism. So it's not the end of the world if I miss like a couple of times the third land. Alright, now this is a good draw because I can already make it do some nice work. Even if I don't draw the land, I can just play the Werefox adventure here. But let's see what they do. Do they tap out? Okay, well that was the best outcome because I didn't want to kind of risk with this trick. Now I can just play this and see what happens. Make this into a 3-3, maybe have a free attack here, and on the next turn, if I so choose, I have the option to make it just a 5-5 with a tail for the ages. But yeah, the opponent did mulligan here. Okay, they again use a spider foot on a token. That's funny. Anyhow, I didn't have a land, so I'm just going to attack with both and use my Ferocious Werefox if they are going to block. If they don't block, I'll just play the Prism. And hopefully to get a land so I can play the Tail for the Ages. But that's fine. They did mulligan to 5, so even if they get now, they can get a Hamlet Glutton, but I have a Moment of Valor to deal with that thing, so... Sideboarding in action. Okay, of course, attack there. I got the land now, but I can only make these into 5 power creatures, so let's just destroy a creature with a lot of power and attack for 4 here. Fawn. And now I can... what's the play? Several options. I could just play the Sir Armand, but then actually I could only attack with that. That is the mana efficient thing to do. I could, you know, of course... Well, no, I don't have blue mana yet. I'm not going to eat the Prism with the bargain yet. It's not like I need to deal with these things right now. I guess the Fawn could give them another 6/6 if they have a land drop, if they have another Glutton in their hand, but I don't think it matters too much. I'm gonna do this, which is the most mana efficient thing. So you are gonna be a 4/5 right now, because it will get, of course, the monster token pump and the pump from the Sir Armand. And it will be a 6/5 with the Tail for the Ages. Okay, they can only find a creature with that thing, and I will have information about what that is. They have only 1 card in hand, so... Okay, they have a Trojan here. They have the looting, but they don't have time for that, because if I draw now a land, I will just win. Because I can play Tail for the Ages and... Well, okay, not quite. But the thing is that I could have actually put I could have made each of my guys massive. But I think I might still win, because they don't know what's coming. I can just attack with everything here. Because I can give +3/+3 and trample to one of these guys. With the land drawn, I could have done it to both of these guys, but I think this is enough to win regardless. Okay, I'm getting value now out of the Tail for the Ages. Now opponent, this thing trambles, so it's not enough, okay. And now they have to... Okay, they don't have to jump block if I don't have anything. Because now they would take 7, go to 1. But of course I do have here something. Now they could too. They have this. They have basically 2 mana up here. But of course I have the Sharai. Let's say they somehow survive here. I'm not gonna die anytime soon. I have a Sharai and the Akatas champion here still. So he's gonna be a 5/5 trample now. 6/6, of course. Because I did forget the Sir Armand. Alright. Yeah. I only counted the roll token itself and the +2/+2 pump, forgetting this pump as well. Not that it didn't matter anyhow, but yeah, that was a pretty sweet +4/+4 God change. Well, God was changed indeed. Hey, this even is a God. Wow. Final match. No Prophetic Prism and only 1 land. I would have the reset button here, but of course I can't assume to go to 5 mana before I get overrun. I'm on the draw as well, so let's mull this one. And okay, I have playable cards in here. Question is... This is actually a tough one, because I don't have the green or blue. I'm more likely to draw green, but this is a stronger card. And I really don't want to cut my 2 drops, because this gives me plays for turns 2 and turns 3. If I cut the planes, I would need an additional land to be able to cast these things. Although if I get the forest, I can still play the adventure, because I think the planes is the correct cut. with the idea being that I still need to draw some lands anyway, and I kinda need to draw the correct lands. I could draw a prism too, but that lets me cantrip even more. Yeah, I think these two mana creatures are going to buy me time to survive, and then these things will be additional gas once I find my lands. And the worst thing that can happen is exactly this. I keep the third planes and I keep drawing more planes, and oh wow. Now imagine if I imagine if I discard it or put away either of these 4-drops now. That would be horrible. Okay, I don't mind that. I only need to find time to maybe get a card from the Sharai. Okay, well, I'm gonna play this on the next turn with the counter. Unless they have a flash creature, it doesn't even matter. Okay, quick study, they refill. Okay, wow. So, yeah, I have most planes in the deck, but it would be really horrible now if I put a spell away from the starting hand. But yeah, I would still appreciate drawing like a, let's say, Prophetic Prism. That would be sweet. Are they gonna counter this thing? They don't, of course, they can't counter it with the... they can counter it with the Eyes Out, but not with the 2-mana counter, because I actually had the mana. For that you have to only play the 2 once it enters the battlefield. Well, this is awkward. But hey, this is what you get sometimes by playing 3 colors. I think I'm still unlucky to not have drawn either of those lands. I mean, combined, I have a reasonable number of forests or islands, and the prisms as well. So that's a lot of live draws I've had that I've missed here for 6 draw steps now. Then again, the opponent isn't pressuring me at all. I think their hand is like full removal and counter spells. But if I get some additional cards myself from this, right? Okay, why would they make this into a 1/1? I guess because they want to just cast a creature here, and why not use it? Alright. This doesn't exile, so am I supposed to... I'm gonna just do it so that I let them attack. Maybe I'll jump later. I want them to just put more creatures on the battlefield. They might not have them based on how the early game went, but I don't think it's time to rat yet. Especially because I can't, get value out of the I mean, if this could survive and the both of these die, then maybe yes. But yeah, I actually don't. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this and pay for this thing. I want to make them use their cards. So the point is, I'm gonna try to double block the transmuter, which is most likely not going to work. They have some kind of interaction for that, which is totally fine for me, because I'm gonna rat the entire board regardless. And this is because I had to do something. I can't just play on an island and not do anything. Okay, that is good. They used removal on that thing. Sadly, they will be getting a card from it. So am I gonna take another 4 here still? I don't wanna go to too low life total here. They might even have a counter spell though. I'm gonna wait for 1 more. Of course I do have to fire this off at some point. They might be flooding out too. Okay, Threadmind Click. Not bad. Not bad. Can try to... I think I'll try to do it right away. It worked, so they actually don't have anything. Well, I don't know if I even need to use my rat effect right now. I mean, if I use it to blow up the Sage, they will get the card from the Bitter Chill, which I don't necessarily want to happen. And of course, I don't kill just one Dream Thief and my ground guy either. It's possible this will stay in my hand for a fair bit. Okay, that I can just kill as the only thing to kill. But before that happens, I should actually try to draw a card here. Now, if they have the fairy counter spell, I will not be able to pay for the mana, but let's see. Okay, they don't. So this locks down, I get to draw a card. Okay, now once I draw my green, some way to get green, I think... I mean, I have a lot more gas than they do, so... I hope they just use removal on the Sharai, that's the thing. I have another one, by the way, in the hand, of course. But I will fire off the Expel the Interlopers almost assuredly on the next turn to get. I mean, I can just say, you know. So the problem, of course, is if they have the -4, -0, but I think they would have played the flyer already. Yeah, because I can just say like 6, and then this will die, and nothing else will go away, and it's just a decent 1-for-1 at that point. Yeah, I've done almost half my deck, and I don't have any of my forests, and not the one land that can tap for anything, or either of my 2 prisms. But I have enough spells that I have cast here. Okay, and there is the forest as well. Now, it seems like they are going to block with this thing and then just draw a card with the ability. Now I have a 7 mana now, so I will have 2 mana left over. I actually don't want to attack first, because then they have the option to draw a counter spell. So let's do this first, shall we? I think I want to. I don't need blue mana for anything, do I? I should do this, so I have the option to play the takedown. Well, I guess I don't need white either, but whatever, let's do this. Does this resolve? Because there's no, you know, priority. Actually, yeah, there is no priority. I mean, I was too worried about the -4, -0, because there's no priority after I have chosen the number. So they have to do it right now. So now I can just say 6, and this 6 power creature will die. Equal, greater than or equal. So now this is bye-bye Gatekeeper. And now I can also just attack here. And the question is, am I gonna use the Werefox? Because they just jump there. Well, maybe they don't jump, but they use some kind of an effect too. They might have the 3-1 flyer that kills this. Anyhow, they might have anything, any kind of things, we'll see. Are they gonna draw a card with this? Draw a card, that's right. Anything that they can do at the end of my turn. They do have the Stingblade Assassin, which I can't deal with now, and I will have to take 3 from it. But I have the Graceful Takedown, and actually I can use multiple. And both of these have an they are enchanted creatures, so I can select them as well. Otherwise I would be in a bit of a trouble. I guess I do have a flying blocker as well, but they have 4 cards in their hand. I have to. Okay, that's different now. So how to do this? Scry 2. Oh, I need 6 power, which I can make happen. But can I pay the Scry 2? Yeah, if these guys combined into 6. But the problem is this Graceful Takedown on the dragon, it will cost 4 mana. I guess I can play the Genealogist. Put a aura here, then I have a total of 6 power. Problem is if they have a. Well, anyway, I don't think I need the Werefox trigger now. Oh, well, that does change things. I mean, I can also just play the Shara and try to tap down the dragon here. I would be going down to 5. Yeah, these ward effects are surprisingly annoying now, even though I have a bunch of mana available, 7 total. I can play the Tail for the Ages, and then this will be big enough to take down the dragon just like that, but I still think the Shadow might be. Yeah, I need to target this with something, I suppose. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Hopefully they don't have. Okay, they did not. Okay, so I like my chances now more. I should actually do this, because if I draw a land, I want to play the Tail for the Ages here. So there we go. Okay, they just have no instant speed abilities. So now I try to have a race, which is possible. I think I might still need to deal with the dragon. Okay, they have more card draw. more chances to interact with me in a nasty way. Just play some creatures. Don't leave mana up on my turn with 4 cards in hand. They haven't shown. I guess this was the new card they drew this turn, so they saw 2 new cards. So I suppose. Well, that means both of them can be gas. I guess the remaining cards are something that just don't do much at all right now. I think it's wishful thinking that they would actually tap out entirely. They are not gonna use the 7 mana here. Okay, that becomes a... Thanks for buffing, my guy. They made a 2-3 into a 1-1, but now of course the 1-1 is... They almost tapped out, so... Well, first of all... Well, I don't have a victory here, that's for sure. But what I do have here is... if I play the click, I need to deal with the dragon for sure. Which I can do now with the takedown. I can select all my enchanted creatures, which is all my creatures, to deal enough damage. And then I need to have the click to block the assassin. Sadly, I don't think I have mana for the... to actually... Yeah, I'm actually 1 mana short to also use the Werewolf to pump this guy. Maybe I'll just go to 2 and live with that. I think that's probably... Or is it? I could also do this and have the... No, I don't. I have only two green mana, so it's actually... Yeah, so the click is gonna be one of these spells. And then I'm gonna Graceful Takedown. Choose this, and kill this, and I will have the ward mana now. But after I pay the ward, I don't have the mana to use this as a trick. So the question is, am I gonna trade with the assassin or go to 2? Because I have also somewhat of a fast clock myself, but let's first see what they do. Maybe it is just better to block the assassin, because I have still all these spells in here. Oh, that's nasty. That's just lethal. Yeah. Well, they deserve it. They drew so many cards here, and yeah, this doesn't gain any life, so I will go to -1. Okay, fine. They had a, I mean, they had plenty of time to do something more meaningful during the game, but they didn't. So that's kind of an acceptable outcome. But now I know what I'm up against. There's an Archive Dragon, which I will be able to kill with the, you know, with the Moment of Valor. But that's actually the only card in their deck, maybe. Oh, there's also the Gatekeeper, and did I see any destroy effects? Now this is a -3/-3, which is not the same as... I mean, I can't save my guy with the Moment of Valor using that, because I was thinking about having this in my deck. But okay, Spider Food, definitely. I already saw some stuff, you know, the dragon. I guess I might need to deal with this at some point, because this will allow them to draw so many cards. There's a Bitter Chill, but maybe mostly the dragon. So if I have Spider Food, anything else I care about? There's the Stroke of Midnight there also, which, you know, might actually be better than the Spider Food here. To be... Yeah, okay, let's have actually that. I don't care about them having a 1/1. It's also an instant. Anything else? Anything else? I don't really think so, and this is the matchup though where I think the Pie Wielder will be good. The 2/3 first striker and double striking can be useful against, but I saw they have a slow-ish deck there. But what's the worst thing in here? I mean, there is no... Is there anything worse? I guess the Protective Parents against that kind of deck is a little bit too clumsy. They can interact with my stuff so easily. I think that's the sideboarding. And now we go to the game 2 of the final match, which I have to win if I want to win the match. Because otherwise the match will be over. But let's see, I'm on the play, hopefully not with a mulligan. Well, I mean, given that I have the Shadow and click, I can cast. I'll keep it. It's obviously not the greatest, but most of the draws I have are like white spells or lands, and I still need one land here. Of course, if I can get a forest, that would be the greatest, but not sure if I'm going to really play the Genealogist here. I'm not gonna play it on an empty board on my side. I might be able to. I mean, I might actually just use the click in here just to use it for something. Oh, they have that thing too. Well, that has vigilance, so I'm never going to get it. Not dead after all. Well, that makes things more awkward. I was supposed to. Yeah, that was bad. Because, well, I guess I can. No, I bet they're gonna just play this and leave it 1 mana up. Okay, they leave a counter spell up. So, if I. This even brings the creature tapped. They definitely have a counter spell. They wouldn't. They would have played the prankster otherwise. I'm not gonna play this unless they have an untapped creature. So next turn, I'm not doing anything. I mean, I would be playing this, but I mean they're gonna just counter. I guess they might not. This is difficult. Maybe I don't mind if they play the not dead after all. I don't actually mind if they counter this with a counter spell, but the thing is, if I kill this now, they play not dead after all. This will enter as a 2/2, it will be tapped, so I don't even get to use this to draw a card. But then... Oh, but they can still counter a spell by sacrificing the... Yeah, I mean, they're sacrificing the... You know what I mean. The token, the aura token. And you know, with the ice chill, what's that card? Okay, I'll just make them counter this. They're gonna get something good anyway, so I'm just not gonna let them attack with one all the time. Okay, maybe they just have the draw 2 here. Yeah, they do. I mean, that's the difficulty in playing against the blue. You know, you have to think about so many scenarios, and sometimes you don't guess right, and it's stupid. But not much I can do about it. I need to start doing something, but if they don't play creatures, I mean they do have the 1/3 in here. Okay, now they have to have the fairy counter spell. Because I'm definitely playing this now. Try to draw a card, but they might have the... They have this 1 mana trick up, so that's the reason why they have a priority. But okay, I got the card out of shadow. That makes me happy enough. But I don't like the fact they have all these cards, and I haven't really been able to apply pressure. And as long as they have this thing up, well, I guess. Yeah, that's just super efficient now. 1 mana will save their thing. It's very doubtful that they would completely tap out. They will leave 1 black mana up every turn, as long as they have this thing in their hand. Yep. Or they leave 5 mana up, which is also possible. So I could play the Genealogist here. I mean, I guess I could just, you know, attack. This thing did its work. If it gets dead somehow, then it gets. And now I think I'm gonna play the Pie Wielder. And then the Genealogist can give the counter to the Pie Wielder. This would be actually a huge, you know, double striker. No, not a double striker, but a huge creature with the Royal Roll token and the Tail for the Ages. Okay, well, I mean, I'm gonna do this now. I'm thinking now about, though, if they have the -3/-3, which one Do I really want them to kill? I mean, if I draw the Herald's Crown, that will be great anyway. I don't have my 2-mana tapper here right now. I mean, I guess this is the card I don't want them to remove. I mean, if they can remove one of these, I hope they remove the Sharai, so I should give the counter to Sharai. That's how I feel. This will be, 5 to 6 anyway. Okay, let's keep it there. Because I think they did not have a way to deal with it right now. And now it has Ward 1 even. Okay, more quick studies. Alright, so that's... I have to be careful about the big thing they had. They're gonna bounce my stuff, but I guess it's not the end of the world right now. Okay, they tapped this thing for 1 generic mana, alright. And they have... Did they play a land? Yes, they did. This entered the battlefield this turn, so... Let's see what they're trying to do here. Killing this thing with this... Okay, they give it a stab wound, which... It gives them a better clock for sure, but now they have only 2 mana up. This thing has vigilance. So I guess no, nothing I can do about that. I need 1 more mana so that I can use this and the Threadbind click on the same turn, because this thing returns a creature tapped. So if I now fight this, they get it back as a 2/4 flyer. It will be tapped, but that's not that useful for me. I know I have here a bunch of... Well, I can actually give this double strike now, so let's do that. That is now the good move to do. And I even have a Threadbind click mana up after that, so... And this of course is a 5/5 thanks to the Tail for the Ages. Any reason to attack with the 2/3? I mean, I guess they might... Yeah, fine. I'm not gonna block anything with the 2/3 because they guys fly, so... That's fine. Okay, they take now some number of damage here, and then I can... I'll do something with the click on their turn if I want to. Although killing the sprite isn't really the biggest thing ever, unless I want to actually prevent the damage, because I'm taking 2 life loss per turn thanks to the stab wound. That is gonna be fed by the cauldron. Or fed to the cauldron, sorry. Okay, well, nothing I can do about that. That's life gain for them as well, which I don't like to see. So what I'm gonna do now is that... Oh, they don't even let me use that. They're gonna block with the sprite. Yeah, I see now what they're doing here. They're gonna use this, and this will come back as a 2/2, and they can tap to, block down a creature I have. Well, I can't make this celebration happen now, so let's go like this. No? Okay, they had different plans there. Well, I mean... Maybe I'll just play the click without, I don't have to use the spell here. And I'm not gonna kill my own Sharai here. I also could just play the champion, because why would I let them use the not dead after all? I can play it as a 4/4. I don't even want to actually sacrifice my things here now. So let's see, they have 2 fairies, so I would have to pay 4. Can I? No, I can't pay 4 if they have that specific counter spell. Might still do this, why not? Okay, I'm gonna play a 4/4 Trampler. No bargain. I mean, the amount of cards in their hand is so huge. I don't know what they are actually holding there. Stingblade Assassin. That's it's annoying for sure, but I guess it gives me a target for the click. They are gonna attack with a 3 power flyer. Now they can, you know, bring it back, but I mean, I also don't want to die right now, so I will prevent the 3 damage. They do sadly have the food available, so they are not at 6, they are at 9, as long as they have 2 mana left. I think I am not... Okay, how many quick studies they have? A lot of quick studies, but I mean, I haven't been able to punish them for playing all these card draw spells. They actually are the ones that are punishing me, and they have, of course, with all this card draw, they will find their interaction. So now it's pretty safe to say that I need to find something very good here. First of all, they must not have anything for this thing. I mean, other than they're not dead after all. But if I draw just a land, I will lose the game. Because I'm gonna go to 7 and then I go to 5. Okay, I have the click to block, but is that still gonna be enough? Yeah, land. I think land makes me lose the game. Because, yeah, how relevant is the vigilance here? It's incredibly relevant. It is. So now what's gonna happen? They're gonna go to back to 9 here. They will block the 2/3 maybe. Yeah. This has blocked so many 2 power creatures. The power of vigilance on this thing is just quite good indeed. But yeah, so I do this and then I can block the assassin. But yeah, the problem is it has a wicked token, so I'm actually going to exactly 0 because I will block. I mean, let's assume this is assuming they have nothing in their hand. When with 5 cards, that's a big assumption. But I mean, I have to block that 4/2. I go to 4 here. I take 2 from these guys, and there I take 2 from the stab wound. Or I'll just, you know, that is tapped, guys. Oh yeah, let them attack for the win here. I think I needed. This was the matchup where I needed to have a bit more, you know, stuff on the board. I basically let them, you know, draw. They used 3 quick studies in one game. That's 9 mana for things that don't affect the board. But that's because I had such a slow start. I think my hand was a keep anyway. I had a Shadow with the mana to cast it, assuming I, you know, get the 4th land, of course. But yeah, I think this was the matchup where I needed to be able to curve out. But they won both games. I didn't win any game, so I mean that was pretty easy. I think the matchup was also tough for me because of the lack of 2 mana plays. It's I think the same thing as in the previous video where I had a similar kind of deck. I lost the final match because of not having early plays available. So that is really, I mean, I don't know how was I supposed to draft differently. I'm not sure. You know, take the 3/1s and stuff like that earlier. But the problem is if I have like some 2-drops that don't, you know, play into the synergies of the deck, I would actually have to cut some cards here that actually synergize with stuff. I guess I could still cut a Woodland Acolyte, Protective Parents, maybe even the Pie Wielder, but these are just all better cards than random 2-drops. That's a kind of a tough trade-off there. But you lose games when you can't curve out, so that's just difficult to sometimes make those decisions when you are going high with synergy. Sometimes if you just don't have that much synergy, or the synergy is the sort of synergy that allows you to play random 2-drops, it's easier to draft such decks. Here I had kind of 2 things. I guess I didn't really do the Sharai thing. This was mostly just you know, as a single card that draws you another card, and if you get to play it with the Hilda's Crown, or I suppose the guard here, then you can have a sort of an engine going on. But other than that, I wasn't trying to be a blue-white tap there things deck, but I tried to be an aura deck with the Sir Amont. and of course the Tale for the Ages. But I mean, it was pretty clear that I didn't stand a chance in the final match, so I don't know, even if we played against that opponent like 10 more games, they might still win more than half of them. Alright, another 2-1, but it was a fun deck for sure. I don't mind at all this result. So, but I do hope I get to draft something else than green, white, although in the end this didn't have that many green cards, but they're kind of an order deck. Maybe the next deck can be something different, but we will see in a couple of days. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.